I'm an evolutionary biologist and a geneticist. I study like a pretty broad range of bird and mammal species, mostly extinct bird and mammal species from pretty much everywhere around the world. And a lot of my PhD thesis was sort of going back to samples and specimens that hadn't worked for decades and applying new technology to them, and then finally being able to get some data and answer some questions. It's night and day now compared to what we used to be able to do. We're talking about orders of magnitude more data than we were able to get before. It's really opened up the questions that we're able to address. What really gets me excited is just being able to sort of learn new things about the world around us and about past life that no one has ever known before. No one's ever seen the data that we're generating. And we're getting whole new insights that are completely new. That's really the interest for me.
My research is about understanding the structure of particles like the proton and neutron in terms of more fundamental constituents. So there's a couple of really exciting projects I'm working on right now. One of them is working to understand how the gluons, which are fundamental constituents inside protons and neutrons that bind the quarks, the matter particles together, how these glue particles also make up nuclei at the core of all atoms. I think having the opportunity to travel, in particular as a grad student, to let me meet people at the forefront of the field. At times there's only a handful of people around the world working on the same problem. So being able to speak to those people in person and also to promote what I'm doing is really very important. Well, when I finished school, I had very little idea of what I wanted to do, but physics seemed the thing that I'd be least likely to learn any more about if I didn't keep studying it. So I started, and then I got absolutely hooked.
I'm a senior research scientist, and my PhD was on Aboriginal health and around tobacco use and trying to find ways to improve health for Aboriginal South Australians. Being a respiratory scientist, we look at ways to try and improve respiratory health for all Australians. One population in particular who is highly disadvantaged is Aboriginal Australians and Indigenous populations worldwide. So that's why I decided to do my PhD on that topic. I think one of the big challenges now is how do we translate research into practice and actually get it picked up by the public and become standard care, which is why I'm now doing a Masters in Public Policy. It's one thing to do, good quality research and publish it and present the findings, that's great. But what happens after that? And I'm finding that there's a huge disconnect between real-world policy and what happens on patient care and in the community compared to what we as scientists and researchers believe should be happening.